What is up, Frog fam? Welcome back to another episode of MarketFlow, powered by Thor, hosted by me, Moon. It's been 2 weeks since we've been here. I had a little bit of MarketFlow got so hot. We got so many new frogs, so many viewers 1 week. My laptop exploded. Like, literally, I'm not fucking exaggerating. My battery exploded. And since then, the MarketFlow recaps, if you go back and look at the recap we made, well, we've been pretty much in the same range. We finally today have something a little bit different from Thor. Once we lost this support here, we got some new calls for some Thor longs printed for Bitcoin here. So if we look into Bitcoin, we now have a long sitting down here at 52. We have another long sitting here. Remember the 47, then there was the 33, and then all the way down to 17. But we've got new calls sitting right here. And this just happens to be exactly in the middle of our DCA zone we established on one of our Tuesday meetings back on the 14th of May. And how did we establish that? This fair value gap. We said we needed to come retest this, and we never really fully did until we got that extended and volatile dump with the yen and kind of markets worldwide collapsing. So right now we're seeing kind of a pretty negative and violent reaction with Bitcoin once it's lost these EMAs, right? Where did my RSI go? Not sure. But so we see we've been losing levels, and now Thor has posted yet again along right in our DCA zone. We had this purple line mapped here. Why? Because it was right in between long call, take profit, short call, take profit, short call, take profit, long call, take profits. Long story short, a lot of take profits, a lot of action in this zone from Thor. So we saw this as significant. Sure enough, we met resistance and broke down from here. Remember, this is what we're looking for. Wherever this occurs on our downtrend, the break and the retest, wherever that occurs, that's what we want to see. If we do fill this Thor long call, this is what we're kind of looking for. When are we going to get the break and retest of the downtrend, filling these zones, bringing us back up, right? That being said, we did produce a wick there. This is a new candle on the 4-hour chart. We still got 2 hours and 50 minutes. This candle could wick and turn green very well. That's what we often see on the bottoms, right? They start out red and then it turns green when it's a reversal. So this still has time. This could end up being a spike down, liquidating some of that leverage and that long support that was here at 60K. Maybe we just liquidated some stop losses and we're about to continue bullish. Remember, we're not here to say the market's going up or down. We're just here to say what we're going to do when we meet certain levels of potential resistance, certain levels of potential support. When we meet these levels, we also know if we get down to this 52, how are we going to manage our risk? We're going to use the risk calculator, put in what we're willing to risk per trade, and we know exactly how much Bitcoin we're going to be buying, at what price, where we're taking our profits, and if we hit our stop loss, which we know to the penny where to set, we know we're not going to suffer any more than the risk we enter. Whether you're a big time trader or just starting out, Thor can calculate and tell you exactly what to buy it, when to sell it, where to set stop loss to maintain your risk tolerance. So we're looking at that Thor long down here. We know where we have some resistance points sitting here. Moving on to Solana. We're moving back down into the 140s. Look at the resistance we got here. Exactly on this zone we have been talking about for months. We blew through this zone, we dropped through it, and ever since then it's either just been resistance or support or a straight pump or dump through it. And once again we hit resistance. I told you for the bull market to really resume, we need to break and retest this zone. We need to get a significant break, retest on top of 160 to really continue bullish here. So what do we have from Thor? We've got a call sitting down here at 118 and retesting the EMAs and actually retesting this zone. This gold zone here is what we said, if we're offered this opportunity to load up in here, this could potentially be some of the best entries that we got for the bull run. And, if you were buying in these zones down here at 135, we had the pump up to 193, and we even had a Thor short call here to let us know we were looking for resistance and it was a good time to take profits. Well played. And now we've revisited. So this call is saying, it's not saying that we're going to find resistance. It's saying if we dump down to 118, look to go long, look to take profit near 136 because we may find resistance and breakdown, or we could continue to go up. But data says this is our good take profit zone. Thor has just printed a nice 15% call or so for Solana there. We do have one call down here in the lower levels, now posted down at 77, just basically below 80, with a big take profit all the way up to 111. So this is looking a little bearish with these lower target areas posted by Thor. But remember, all we need to do is break this local top here, this 180, and those calls are basically invalidated. If we look back at Bitcoin again, we see invalidation 172, invalidation 172, invalidation 172. Okay, so we know that 172 is a significant zone here on Bitcoin. Here we are. Here is the, the 72. 72,000. I'm talking like it's Solana, 172. 72K invalidation, 72K invalidation, 72K invalidation. Here we are at the 72K invalidation, the last tops. If we break this, then we are eliminating these more bearish Thor calls that are down here. It's saying they are no longer as probable and will not have them posted. So we've been in this range, and now that we are getting some more time, this to me looks like a bull flag. We've gone up, and now we're making the retrace slowly down. When are we going to find the next bottom, form the next pose, blow up, form the next fair value gaps, and extend up into new all-time highs? I do see this as kind of a big bear flag. I think the short-term people are capitulating and the long-term thinking are accumulating. Usually you have a capitulation zone and you have an accumulation zone. I think we're in a strange area because we have the short-term capitulating and the long-term accumulating. Talking about some long-term investments, you guys have heard me talk about Jupe, and this is another one I think is just an absolute no-brainer for this cycle. We call it our perfect DCA zones here, our targets at 82, 71, and 64. We hit our targets on our resistance at $1 and $1.15. Did we call the exact tops? Not necessarily, but we damn near called exact bottoms for DCAs. And we said, hey, let's get ready to do it again. So we're DCAing in our zones, and now it looks like we could be finding support here at our previous DCA zones. Not financial advice, do your own research, but I think Jupiter is an absolute powerhouse, and it just continues to get better. Meow is an absolute monster. We are looking for the break, right? And we're going to get that retest. We got to get the break and the retest. Get out of this zone. Just like Solana has that zone at 160, we need to break this zone at the 115. We need to get up above it, find support on it, break out before we're really bullish and bulls really back. But very bullish on Jupiter personally. Their tools are amazing. Being able to DCA, buy into whatever it is you want, at whatever prices you want. Perp trading, bridge over assets, spot bags, you name it. Jupiter is a powerhouse. Limit orders, DCA. I'm really bullish on Jupiter and also the trade that it's presenting. And if we zoom out, right? Let's zoom out a minute. Let's zoom out. Forget these 4-hour calls. Forget these little higher lows. Let's look at Bitcoin in an overall. Let's zoom out to a weekly chart and really see what we're looking at in the macro levels. You know, let's take out some of the noise. Let's look at some of the macro levels and what's happened with Bitcoin before. And you can see these green boxes are basically when Bitcoin is retesting the all-time high, when it finds support after retesting all-time high, break out into the major pool. You know, once again, when we got to retesting all-time highs, support on the EMAs, break out to new all-time highs. Here we are. This zone, we spent the most time ever in all-time high territory. Most time ever. Not just a single peak, but we had a double top in here and spent quite a bit of time. Is it really that outrageous or strange that we're spending a little bit more time consolidating at the all-time high before we find our supports and breakout? You know, we had a double entry into the zone here. Is it possible we just spend some more time here again before we break out? Zoom out. Look at your long-term targets. You know, if you're a short-term trader, man, opening up the symbols, looking at everything down into the 15-minute charts and 1 hour, if you're a short-term trader, there's an enormous amount of calls that you can be looking at taking, right? Enormous amount of calls you can be looking at taking. This is excellent if you are good at trading, you understand how to manage your risk. We make it simple. Join us on Tuesdays or Thursdays in the Discord. Mondays with Rumpty with Cyber Dojo in Discord. Wednesday, Decoding with Drake. We will break it down for you, answer your specific questions on how to use these tools. If you still aren't sure about trading, we have Auto THOR. This is one of the things that cyber frogs are known for most, and it's going to be one of the few things we're known for because we've got a whole lot coming. But what does the contract do for you? Basically, enter low, sell high, right? Look at what the contract did. If you weren't buying Solana at 126, at 140, and buying Solana at 143, to sell Solana between 150 and all the way up to 190, then start to scale in, scale out, scale in, scale out. Man, it's playing the moves, and the entire time it's staking some of the Solana it's holding. It's staking some of the USDC it's holding. If you are bullish on Solana and your goal is to accumulate more SOL, why not look at using the first automated hedge fund on blockchain? Frogs fuck, door prince. See you all next week.